see it early this morning, that amazing lunar eclipse? Well, I got up at 4 a.m. It was a little bit cloudy, but I saw the moon just as it came out of the eclipse, and it was the most beautiful glow that I have seen. So the moon changes, the planets change, and we too take time during this season to actually begin to reflect. So today I want to talk about letting go and allowing the new to come in. So we often think about the traditions and of customs of people that have been following the lunar cycles for many, many years. And living in Canada, I like to think about what the First Nations people think of lunar eclipses. So one of the things that they believe in, that this is a time for transformation, that this is a time that it was often seen that the moon was sleeping or that the moon is dying and then the moon is reborn, as the light transforms through the moon. And last night it went through this beautiful red color and then it emerged this amazing golden yellow, which almost looked like a sunrise this morning when I saw the moon. So what is this telling us about us? I think we can always get a little time to reflect on how these changes in our planet can also be going on within us. So for me, I see this as a time for renewal and a time for release. And this is why I think of what is it in my life that I need to renew, or what do I need to release? So when these things happen, we can say, okay, the planet went through a big change. Is there something going on in me? Is there something that I need to release? Is there a habit that I want to change in my life? Is there a grudge that I'm holding? Do I need maybe to give a little bit of forgiveness? Because the planet is always giving us cues. Each day I love it that the sun comes up and it sets. And our body, we need this time as well on a daily basis to rest and renew. We know that if we don't get sleep, that our body's going to run down and that it's going to get sick. But I think from a deeper emotional level, we need to think of, at times in our life, what are we holding on to that's not serving us anymore? We know that grudges, we know that fears, that these emotions in our body can actually be held and they can go on to form diseases in our body. And this has been documented again and again. So what do we know about one of these actions, the action of forgiveness? So they've actually studied forgiveness and its impact on health. So there's articles and research that show us that forgiveness can lower blood pressure. Forgiveness can reduce stress. Forgiveness can actually improve your immune system. Because what's going on in our body when we hold on to these things, we activate all of the negative consequences. We raise cortisol, we raise our adrenaline levels, and this ultimately is going to have an impact on our body. So sometimes when I work with individuals, they're trying everything on a very much of a cerebral or a brain level. They're thinking, okay, I can change this food, I can do more exercise, I can go to sleep, but they're not looking at the deeper emotions. And many times when it really comes to advancing our health into optimal wellness, we really have to think of those deep emotional roots, and forgiveness is one of those key things. Because the way our body works and what neuroscience tells us is what we hold on to, or the memories that we have, the emotions in our brain are going to amplify. So think about it. If you're holding a grudge against someone, or if something bad really happened to you, you're going to always be holding on to the negativity of that, no matter how big or how small it is. And people at all different levels have been able to forgive. The greatest episodes of forgiveness, some that I've seen, was the story of after Rwanda, if you remember that. The genocide that happened, where cousins were killing one another in the genocide. And after, there was a time of reconciliation where they had families that sat down together and say that, I forgive you. Wow, isn't that amazing? Isn't that powerful? But they know that those people were caught up in the situation. It wasn't, necessarily of their own doing, but also for them to move forward, they had to offer forgiveness. And actually in the country, it really changed things once forgiveness was able to happen. But on a small scale, think about how you can do this within your life. What is it that you need to do? What is it that you need to let go of? Do you need to have forgiveness Do you need to let go of that grudge that you've been holding? Because by letting go, you're creating space for peace to enter into your life. And I think these days, we all want a lot more peace. I think this is one of our ultimate longings is peace and happiness. And we can begin to cultivate that peace and happiness within ourselves by having a focused intention that we do want to start to make the changes. So for me, this has been really transformational in my life as I've been able to move through my 53 years, being able to forgive others and being able to forgive myself. It really is a key to long-lasting happiness and to our optimal wellness too. So if you want to join me and some others as we go through the next step of transformation, next week is spring. So March 20th is spring this year. And here in Miramichi, New Brunswick, we're going to be getting together for a free workshop. It's going to be held in Eel Ground in the Gitpo Spirit Lodge. We're going to have a lot of fun looking at what's going on in our life through what's called the Wheel of Life focus. And then we're going to set some intentions as we move forward into summer. I would love for it if you can join me at this free event. But if you can't make it, then I still want you to begin to think as we go through these periods of transformation, what is one thing that I want to move the needle forward on? So what can I let go of right now to allow more peace, more love, and more happiness to enter into my life? Have a wonderful day, everyone, and happy Eclipse.